Hello soulmates, welcome back to another tutorial. In this video, I'll be showing you how to make this beautiful bubu dress. It's very simple and easy to make. It turned out so beautiful and I had to make it in 2 colors. I used 5 yards of Mikado fabric to achieve this look as the client is above size 10. And I also needed a zipper. The most complicated part of this outfit is the sleeve. Just a reminder, knit finishing is a big deal here, so let's get started. Fold the fabric with 17 inches to allow you work comfortably since there won't be slits. The length I'm working with is 60 inches, but the Mikado length I have is 58, so I had to fold it horizontally as shown to achieve the desired length. I measured 60 inches and added extra 6 inches as the bubu dress needs extra length to give that rich aunty vibe and also for the hem allowance. So cut out the length and we'll move to the bodice. On the folded part, measure half of the shoulder width, then come down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope. That is, if your back is 16, divided by 2 plus 0.5 seam allowance and come down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope. Then measure the neck width and connect it with the slope. The neck width I'm working with is 4 inch and then you connect it with the slope. Next is to locate the armhole and draw out your chest line. Measure the armhole and divide it into 2 to locate the midpoint. Then go in by 0.5 inches at the midpoint. Measure the bust and go up diagonally on the armhole. Connect the armhole with the curve ruler. Now let's take the vertical measurements from the neck width, the bust point, the under bust, the waist and the hip line. So now let's take the circumference. Bust divided by 4 plus 2 inches because there's no any snatch on the bust area, so you are not adding more than 2 inches on the bust. On the under bust divided by 4 plus 2 inches and add extra 3 inches allowance. You do the same for the waist and you do the same for the hip. Divided by 4 plus 2 inches and extra 3 inches allowance, making 5 inches allowance on the under bust, waist and the hip. Remember that this allowance is what the rope will gather to create the effect. So after you note that, connect it with a ruler and blend it out to the folded fabric as shown. For the neck, on the folded part, come down by 7 inches and connect the V-neck with the curved part of the ruler to avoid a bulge on this particular part. You know, V-neck tends to bulge if it is not well measured, so you connect it with the curved part, not the straight part, please. Now let's measure out the dart. The bust span I'm working with is 10 inches and I'll measure 5 inches for the dart. You know, bust span divided by 2 is 5. That's what we're working with. And you come down by 2 inches from the waist and you note that. Mark the dart line and use a tracing wheel to trace the dart onto another side of the fabric for accuracy. Now let's cut. To cut Mikado fabric, I suggest investing in a zigzag scissors to prevent it from fraying and it allows you enjoy sewing until you decide to serge or weave. So cut along the line and keep it in place. Don't forget to chalk out the darts of the other side as well. For the back, use the remaining fabric from the side for efficient fabric management. Measure the zipper allowance first and place the front on the back. Measure the back neck depth to be 1.5 inch. Chalk it out and cut it. Don't forget to trace out the dart line. It must align with the front since a loop will be there and must be the same. Do you understand? Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like and share this video for others to see. Now let's cut the second back pattern as well. You know, the one we cut is just half of the back. So lay down your fabric and cut the other part. And if you fold your fabric into 2 when you were cutting yours, that's not a problem. Fold your fabric into 2 with the length reaching the bust point or the under bust, to allow both the neck and the armhole finishing, because we will turn the neck and the sleeve with this facing, so the length of the facing should reach the bust point or the under bust. I hope you understand that. Do the same for the front as well, the length reaching the under bust and cut. Set it aside. So after that, serge or weave the necessary areas and let's mark where the loop will go into. The loop will be snatched from the under bust, so the first loop indication will be at the under bust. So go up by 2 inches to mark where the dart will start. Then mark every 2 inches for the second, the third and the fourth. After that, mark 1.5 for where the dart will stop. Mark across for even spacing. For the back, fold the zipper allowance and place it on the front pattern for alignment. The chalk will transfer onto it, making sure to align or remeasure it accurately. If you know you can't make this well, please remeasure it accurately. Then let's slash the dart open. When slashing, avoid reaching the dart starting and end point, and do the same for the back as well. Now let's measure the fabric for the loop and rope. For the rope, measure 2.5 inch wide and 58 inches long. You will cut 2 of that because there are 2 sides. And for the loop, it's 1.5 inches wide, and once it is turned, it will look like this. Now we will attach the loop to the dress. Start sewing from the dart start point, inserting the loop one after the other, and don't forget to double stitch to secure each one down to the dart so that it will avoid losing. Repeat on both sides and also the back. Repeat this sewing once again to secure it in place perfectly. After sewing, this is how it will look like. Now let's sew the facing. Pin the facing in place and sew it neatly as shown. After sewing the neck with 0.5 inch, sew in the armhole as well with 0.5 inch. After sewing, remove the pins and notch it carefully. After sewing and notching, turn it out and it will look exactly like this. Sorry, I thought my video was playing. My video stopped, so I didn't capture how I joined the shoulder. So after joining the shoulder, it will look like this with a neat effect, as the seam is meant to be hidden. So turn it as shown, and you know how to join the shoulder together. It will be joined inside the facing like this, and please cut out the excess so that it will lay properly, and iron it properly, and there you have your neat inseam shoulder joining. Next is to fix the zipper. Pin the zipper in place and sew it carefully so that it will be very neat, and after attaching the zipper, it will look exactly like this. Now let's cut the ruffle sleeves. Cut a piece of fabric 19 inches wide and 58 inches long as shown, which will create this effect when pleated and pinned. These edges will be pleated, the up and the down part, and the sides too. You pleat everything Let's experiment it on mannequin. And do it without a mannequin as well, but I just want to use a mannequin so that you'll be able to see it very well. So to achieve this effect, let's use this other part of it. You pin it in place, or if you are doing it on the floor or on the ground or on your table, you twist this inner part, you twist and you pin it, you twist and you pin it, just as shown in this video. So you pin as much as you can, you twist and pin as much as you can to achieve the desired effect that you want, and this is how it will look like after pinning. This is the inner part of where you pin, and where you pin you have to take it on the machine or you hand stitch it. You sew everywhere that you pin, each one by one you sew it, or you hand stitch everything. So after stitching the pin part, I decided to line the sleeve because I don't like the effect it was giving me. So I had to cut another fabric larger than the pleated sleeve this time around. Not what you measured initially, you place the sleeve on another fabric to measure whatever you use to line it, but the line will be a bit larger than the pleat. So place the ruffles right side facing right side of the lining and you stitch it down as shown. So while stitching, leave little space so that you'll be able to turn it to the right side and give it a final stitch. Turn everything out as shown and give it a final stitch.
If you have watched this video to this stage, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel.
So this is how it will look after stitching. And now the next thing to do is to shape the dress and attach the sleeve to the main dress. Let's do that. So to shape the dress, you measure your exact bust measurement divided by 2 and you sew the rest straight down. We are not having any body shape in this dress because the loop will do the job for us by snatching into our body measurement. So just the bust measurement, that's the only thing you are shaping here, and you take it straight down. Now to attach the sleeves to the main dress, measure 5 inches down from the top of the shoulder and go in by 1.5 inches. So that's where you stitch the sleeves on. You stitch the edges as shown. This part can be tricky, so measure it carefully and stitch it as needed. I don't show the ironing process, but ironing as you sew is the key to neat results. Make sure you iron each steps. So after attaching this part, attach the other part to the front and do the second sleeve as well, and then you are done with the sleeves. Finally, iron the sides of the dress and hem the bottom. Since Mikado tends to shrink, I measured the length of the gown. Originally it was 66 inches and now it is 64. So that's why I had to add extra allowance when you are dealing with Mikado fabric. So I'll hem 2 inches and I'll leave the final length at 62 because we want this gown to give rich aunty vibes, that full gown and fluid effect. So talking about the hem, normally I don't like to see stitches on my hem line, so I decided to use this hemming gum. If you are using hemming gum, the secret is you have to add a lot of water when ironing, or you use your steam iron. The steam iron must be well, the hemming gum must be well steamed. And if you are not using the original, because this is just a regular hemming gum, double it like 2 so that it will have that long lasting effect. That is what you see me doing here, doubling the hemming gum and adding more water to it so that it will have that lasting effect. And this is how the sleeves looks. It's so neat and perfect. So here is the final outcome of the dress. It came out so neat and beautiful. It's giving original rich auntie vibes, right? Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Give this video a thumbs up. See you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Until next time. Bye.